Hey everyone, welcome to Unicorn Light Tower. Sincerely hope everybody's doing amazingly well today. If not, we're here with you, supporting you, and at the very least, sending out some great energy to you wherever you are in the world. So if you're brand new here, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome also. Today we are doing a pick a card, yes or no. We will be answering, well, the pendulum will. Right now it's set on good idea because this is a good idea. So we have the pendulum here. We have good idea, no, think about it, bad idea, yes, and forget about it. So we will be using the pendulum to answer very simple questions. So any question that you have, yes or no, or a little bit in between, we will be answering today with the pendulum. And of course, we'll be using tarot and oracle to give you some more detailed explanation or answers or insights, whatever it is that you want to call it. So as always, we have 3 piles. And if you've been with me a little while, then you know this already. And if you are brand new here, then this is a healing candle. We always have a healing candle in the corner. It has magic oil that we made, so you can definitely either release or cut cords to what no longer serves you, or bring in abundance, healing, manifestation, whatever it is that you need. We always set up these readings one way or another for support, for activation, for healing, for insight, whatever it is that you need at that time. So that's always going to give you a little extra boost. So we have 3 piles here with our tarot. The first pile is the amethyst, second pile is this beautiful turquoise, and then we have the clear quartz on the third pile. So as always, take as much time as you need, even if it means pausing the video. The more aligned you are with your own intuition and your own breath and your own knowing, the more aligned you will be with whatever it is that is said and all the insights that are coming up now. So whatever you need to do, take your time to figure out which of these piles holds the answer for you. So let's go ahead and get right into the reading. No sense in delaying. We'll move our beautiful pile 2 and pile 3 away for just a second. So if you picked pile 3, then you chose the amethyst, the beautiful amethyst. And we're going to ask you to ask your question now. So just take a deep breath, and remember, the more clear you are about the question that you're answering, and it's a simple question that requires a yes, no, or anything in between here. And of course, we'll be getting you some more clarity. So we won't leave you at just yes or no. So just think about it now while we use the pendulum. I like the pendulum when it actually goes around. There you go. So, okay, so good idea is the answer there, and we're going to give you some more detailed things here. Ooh, Prince of Cups and Nine of Pentacles. Absolutely. So for those of you who are asking about any kind of new venture, the first thing that's coming up is any kind of new business venture, about moving forward. Is it the right time? Absolutely a good idea. You're being told that it's always a good idea to move forward right now. The wisdom and the knowledge that you have is absolutely enough to be integrated into society, and this is exactly what we need. And you're also being told at the same time not to be afraid at all, because as you move out there, and as you take those baby steps, integrating your knowledge and moving forward on this business idea, or this new way of being seen in the world, everything will become very clear to you right now. For those of you who are sitting down, who are either over focusing on a plan and then getting freaked out because it's like, all right, I have this plan, but I don't know if this is what I need to do. Or for those of you who are feeling it's the right time, but you're feeling a little bit lost as to how to put yourself out there, or whether it's enough, or whether you have enough of this, that, and the other. Absolutely. You're being asked to definitely step up and step into who you are. And you're being reminded that at this point, you won't need that much in order to establish yourself in whatever it is that you're doing. So if you're starting a YouTube channel, you're starting a healing business, start with the people that you have already, Facebook, friends group, all of that stuff. You are absolutely exactly where you need to be to start. And you're just being reminded baby steps lead to something that's huge. I mean, one baby step can lead to a sort of a huge opening in understanding what you're doing and how you're going to do it and how you're going to implement that. So don't underestimate baby steps at this point. And also, baby steps build into this beautiful energy. And before you know it, in a couple months later, who knows what you have? You're being asked to take the chance. You're also being told that there's never really a great time for things. And very often in the universe, the opposite sort of applies. So when you're in a situation where you're like, no one's got any money, the economy's tanking, this, that, and we're just giving you an example, is it the right time to start a business? Very often it is actually in the wrong time that it seems on the outside to start something is exactly when the universe and the world need you. Again, you're not necessarily being encouraged to sink a ton of money per se or capital into this. What they're saying is take the baby steps and take the knowledge and the resources that you already have and use them in a really clever way to get you to that next step. There could be investors coming in. For some of you, there could be a signing of projects. There's signing of contracts coming in, or other people coming in to help you, or looking at another way of how other people sort of found success. And the best way for you, because you're the type of person that likes to do things your own way, which is absolutely wonderful. So it's if you really look at how other people have their own sort of modalities of moving forward, and then take a little bit from each of them, integrate them all together and put them together for your own business plan. But you're just being asked to really work right now on your intuition. And the answer is it is a good idea to put yourself out there. It'll be not only great for the universe, but it'll also be great for you. You'll find and click into that purpose, that connection that you're looking for. And within that further on connection that you'll be finding, that's when you'll really connect to who you are. And that's when your intuition will move you forward into the next step. So for some of you, it's about writing a book. It's about taking your creativity to the next level. For some of you, it's about the good idea. You have a series of books, but you don't know whether it's the right time to put it out there. It's a good idea. Keep putting it out there. For those of you who are putting it out there to the world, know that your universe, your guides are working to make sure that the right team comes in to represent you. So keep putting yourself out there. If initially you get a few knockdowns, or people are saying you're not the right person to work with, but you seem talented, keep going, just keep going. You're really being reminded not to focus on the negativity, not to at all in any way, shape, or form to focus on any kind of rejection. It's not a rejection, it's not personal. Your guides are looking for that really firm place for you to be in the world, for you to bloom and for you to grow. So they're not pushing your work to be placed, or they're not pushing you to be in any situation where you won't be in a position to bloom. So just trust that. So let's get a little extra information for you, but this is absolutely wonderful. Really, with the purple and the amethyst, you're being reminded that this is the right time for you in many ways. For those of you who are feeling a little unprepared, that's totally understandable, and we're here in support for you. But there also is a reminder behind that in many ways that you've been preparing for this. You've done this in previous lives, but beyond that, you've been preparing for this one way or another. If you look back on your life and you see a lot of the things that you've done and undertaken, like not all of them have taken off, and some of them you've actually brought into fruition, and then you've decided you've not wanted to do it. But if you look at all the influence that you've had with the design elements, everything that you're doing, and everything that you've done before, whether it's been sort of quote unquote successful in your mind's eye, it's all been leading you and building a very firm foundation of, at the very least, finding out what it is that you want and the quality that you want. You don't put out anything that isn't of quality. You actually probably go way over the top, where people are putting out something and making money and doing very well, and you know, God love them, that's great, that's wonderful. You will go above and beyond and charge less. So whatever anybody gets from you, whatever it is that you're offering absolute quality, and you're offering your wisdom and your guidance, which is absolutely profound, in many different shapes or forms, because you've allowed yourself to go out there and build this and build that. Again, whether you've walked away from it or whether it's sort of fallen short a little bit in your eyes and you haven't moved forward, it hasn't been successful in the world that you wanted, that's totally fine. The experience is there. You have everything you need to absolutely move forward and bring whatever it is that you have, in a brand new, unique way to the world. So don't underestimate that. And also, you are moving into a phase of things will take off when they want to. So putting yourself out there, building slowly and deliberately your brand, that's exactly what you're about. For those of you who are worried about things taking off or overnight success, in many ways you will be successful and this will be happening, but you know, nothing's going to happen outside of your scope of dealing with it, or being overwhelmed. For those of you who are wondering if you'll be overwhelmed, you won't. Your guides are working with you in a very direct way to bring you the right circumstances, to bring you the right people, to bring you the right clients to build, and to build your self-confidence out in the world too. For most of you, you're a little bit worried, not because deep down you don't have the confidence in knowing who you are, what you do. You do have the confidence in that. It's more about like being out in the world. The way in which, you know, for some of you, if you've worked for other people and things that you've done before, you absolutely, you know, you made the best out of every situation and you've loved it. And there's absolutely great things that you can take from everything that you've done, but you were working for other people. The liability was with somebody else. It wasn't 150% you. You know, you took full responsibility. That's not it. This is you, though. This is you putting your heart and your soul on the line. This is a little bit different. So, of course, this means more for you, and that's totally understandable. But, you know, this is what you're here to do. The timing is right for you to be out there. The timing is right to bring your wisdom to the world. And for those of you to bring yourself back into connection, of being connected with you and what you want to do, and being and having faith in what you want to do, and having faith that what you want to do is enough to be successful in the world. So this is kind of this is more about you proving to yourself rather than you proving that, you know, that you can do it. You absolutely can do it. Your guides already know that you can do it. This is more about you proving to yourself that you can do it. You can only prove to yourself if you put your wisdom out there and allow it to unfold with your intuition, with these baby steps, the way that you want. So however it is, whether it's starting a new business or putting yourself out there. Now, for some of you, it could be asking that person out, putting yourself out there. This is about, the question that you ask is about putting yourself out there in some ways. Is it the right time? Should I do this? If it's, you know, am I ready for a new relationship? Should I ask this person out? Absolutely. Now, we don't need to ask the question whether they'll say yes or no. The question is, it's the right time for you to put yourself out there. It's the right time for you to be seen. It's the right time for you to invest in yourself, your own security, your own sense of connection, and put yourself out in the world in the way that you never have before. That's what the question is. So absolutely, look at this growth. Wonderful, wonderful. These are the chakra oracle cards. Let's see, what are they called? Chakra wisdom oracle cards. Growth. This is about growth for you. Now, you've done a lot of growth, you've done a lot of healing, and a lot of it's been done sort of a little bit behind closed doors. So, you know, you might be a little camera shy, you might be a little world shy, and that's totally fine. click into the excitement rather than feeling a little bit nervous. If you turn that nervousness into excitement, this is the time for you to get out there and to sort of scope out new worlds, new ways of doing things. And this is a timeless reading, but obviously we're in a very particular time in the world where not all of us are integrated into the world the way in which we used to be and the way in which we would like to be. So, but we want to remind you there's still a vast amount of room for integration. The way in which the world works is changing drastically. We're never going to go back to whatever it is that we had before. We're moving forward in one way or another. And that's actually a good thing. So, if you're starting to put yourself out there online, this is the way that people are going to be moving for the most part in the future anyway, especially individuals putting themselves out there. The new models of learning, the new models of putting yourself out there and healing. There's so much that you can do without having to be face to face. So don't let that worry you about, I don't know what it is that I can do, this, that, and the other. Even if it's something that you would traditionally have face to face, there's still ways for you to bring this, your beautiful gift to the world and integrate it out there. And to be able to come up with a successful model where you don't feel as though you're offering somebody that's offering a potential client something lesser than because of the times that we're living in. Absolutely not. Quite the opposite. So profound sense of growth there for all of you. And regardless, again, of whether you're asking somebody out, you're getting out there, or for some of you it will be education. Should I start this new education thing? Again, the specific education could be, it may not be the specific education that you have in mind, but you're being asked to do some more research, or the answer is a good idea to take your next level of knowing to the next level. So growth is definitely on the table for you. And if you're thinking about the next level of education, it's about being in a circumstance where you can take everything that you know and apply it into one sort of form and be able to integrate that again into the universe and help others. So if you're looking for some specific idea of what kind of education practice you should do, anything that supports the knowledge that you already have and gives you the freedom to be able to put it together yourself, and then be able to present it out into the world, that's the right place for you. Again, go back into the intuition. That's the right course, the right education path for you. Go back into your intuition, check in with your intuition. It will always tell you which one to go to, but it's not necessarily the first one that you think. That first idea could be that spark to give you a direction, and then the right person, the right situation, the right education path might appear after that. So again, check in with your intuition. You are absolutely in line with it. Your guides will show you the rest of the equation to this, but something's been sparked, something's been lit underneath you, and you're ready to move forward and show the world what you can do. Let's do one more from this too. I'm really liking this. Soulmate, oh my goodness. So for some of you who are asking about love and about moving this forward, for those of you who did ask about love, the soulmate card did come up. So we're not going to ignore that. For those of you who are asking, we want to be clear there are different kinds of soulmates. Absolutely. And it does mean that the person that you've asked about absolutely is a good idea. It's absolutely wonderful. This person is coming into your life for an absolute reason. And this person is coming to your life too. There's two different ways to see this. Now, soulmates, sometimes people get confused and think for soulmates that you're going to spend the rest of your lives together. And sometimes that's absolutely true. And there's other soulmates that come in and they activate you at your core. When you're activated at that level, you never, repeat, never are the same again. And it's absolutely wonderful. And these are soulmates, and there could be sort of a haze of romanticism in there. Some of that's projected, some of that isn't. For some of you, This is a soulmate that's coming in to activate you. Now, whether you move that into any kind of romance is totally up to you. We would never say no. And personally speaking, beyond what the guides are telling me one way or another, I always say fall in love as much as you can. So go and do that. Be human. Allow yourself to be loved one way or another. So that's really what we're being told here. The soulmate that you've asked about, if you did ask about love, this person is coming in for you to activate you at a soul level. It's a very, very important relationship. If this person is the person that you will spend the rest of your life with, not for everybody that's asked this, no, but you're still being encouraged to go in there and have some fun and really allow this opening up for this new way of being with this person. And maybe not try to see things so far down the future. Enjoy exactly where you are in this moment. If anything, this person can really give you the sort of world in the moment, taking things slowly, baby steps, reminding you that everything you need is in that moment. It's not in the past, it's not in the future, it's in the present. So take that as you will. So let's see what we have here. Excuse me. So we have the sacred geometry activation. So we have a little bit of love. Again, it's, the original question is getting back out there. For those of you who are a little head shy, but this person has come in and you've got a little you're a little head shy, but you've not really been out there, or this person is bringing out something in you that you've never really had before and you want to check in. Again, the original question is, you're absolutely ready to get out there and do this. That is the main question. These are just variants of that question. So you're ready. This person is there to activate you and to help you in some way, to see you more realistically, see the more beauty, remind you that you are made up of stardust, because you may have forgotten that, pal one. So let's see what we have here. The activation. So we have universal love at number 44. The frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. Absolutely gorgeous. And as the sun sort of streams in from outside, it's really, if you can see that on camera, it's going all the way down. Extra beauty from your angels there. So again, this comes back to the original question. So this is all about you getting out there so you can take what you have, take your gifts, take your beauty, integrate it into the world and feel that connection. Feel that love frequency. Sounds a little weird, but feel that love frequency, absolutely, for you to connect in a brand new way, for you to see yourself in a brand new way. That's really what this question was about, to take your spiritual awareness and bring it to a new light, and shine it out to the world. And in that, being of service, and really fulfilling the prophecy of who you are. That's when this insane amount of connection and beauty blossoms within you. So no matter whether you're thinking of education or love or a soulmate, or as we said, starting some kind of putting your creative ideas and business out there, your healing business, whatever it is, it's all down to the connection. You're ready to put your connection out there, even if you've been gun shy before. So let's do one here of the Cosmic Dancer Oracle, which is a really beautiful oracle here. Let's see what else we have for you, pile one, but really beautiful energy in this pile. Adorn the temple, yes. Again, getting back to what we said, adorn the temple, coming back to a sense of who you are. This is really all about, yes, you being out there, integrating your wisdom and your sense of connection. But this is about you taking your self-confidence, your beauty to the next level. And you are absolutely ready. It's a good idea. Taking everything that you know and integrating it within yourself and allowing it to shine from within, to shine and radiate out. You're absolutely ready to really embrace exactly who you are, stand in that firm foundation and help others do the same in your own way. So it is a good idea. It's absolutely a good idea. This is the time. This is absolutely the time, no matter how you're deviating off, if it's love, if it's putting yourself out there, getting to that next level. And again, not going down that rabbit hole of, I need to heal, I need to do, you don't need to do anything. All you need to do is take all of that wisdom, everything that you have already, integrate it, connect, and move into the world. Put your essence everywhere in the world because we absolutely need you. Pile one. So we're going to end with a little bit of magic, a little bit of making magic here from Priestess Moon. Let's see what you have. Your message, your sigil, your beauty here to end this gorgeous reading. So excited for you, Pile One. Go be you. So let's see what we have. Breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. Absolutely. Again, we just said you've worked on yourself already. Don't you dare go down that rabbit hole of things that you feel like you need to be whole or release or this, that, and the other. If there's a little bit of releasing, trust me, trust us, it'll come up and you'll be able to release it. But you've done all the great work. And one of your habits is always trying to get your ducks in a line. For those of you in pile one that's resonating with this, always getting your ducks in I'm just going to wait for this to happen and wait for that to happen, for you to have your da-da moment. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with that at all, of course. But some of you may feel as though you miss out on opportunities occasionally, and that is absolutely true. Don't miss out on any of these opportunities. Go put yourself out there. And again, if you asked about putting yourself out there in some kind of way where business or this, that, and the other, you are being asked to remind yourself that you don't have to have absolutely everything set up in a plan for you to move forward. Move with your intuition. Your guides will tell you the next step. Don't worry about it. Of course, have a business plan, have an idea, have a focus, but also allow for that intuitive moving forward. You don't have to have every single resource in order. There's lots of things to be doing. The main important thing is to get yourself out there and to do it with authenticity, which is something that you're ready to do. So, and again, we talked about self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices, all of those things that kept you held back before. Getting your self-confidence, bringing your wisdom together, knowing that it's worthy to be put out there into the world, and getting that self-confidence, and in that, realizing as you go out there and people go, oh my God, thank you. I can't believe that you did this for me. Reaching that new sense of self-confidence, integrating that, really raising your frequency, putting yourself out there, and knowing that what you do is absolutely needed, and having this profound sense of connection that you've never had before, because you are being of service, you are taking your talents, and people do need them. So we're sincerely hoping that this helped and resonated with you and gave you some kind of beautiful clarification for going out there and being you and being the right time. So if it did resonate, pile one, do feel free to give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comments below. We always love hearing from you. And of course, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon too, so you're always reminded when a new video is coming up, because we have so much fun here at Unicorn Light Tarot. And there's lots of other ways to stay in touch. We have the Unicorn School of Light down below. We have a Facebook group. We have our meditation or our unicorn therapy sessions that you can sign up for free on this channel. And we have Intuition and the Oracle, working with your intuition and working with Oracle too. That is a free 5-day course that you can take. So there are lots of ways to stay in and around this energy. So we hope that you will come back and visit with us again. Until we meet again, pile one, go be you, go shine your light, and remember your stardust. Stay safe and sane. All right, my darling pile twos, for those of you who picked the turquoise stone, one of my favorite stones, this is your reading. And of course, we are doing a yes or no. So if you want to think of a question now that you require a yes or no from, and do not forget, we have the healing candle for extra healing, meditation and activation, release what no longer serves you, bring in abundance, a manifestation should you want to. And after we do the pendulum draw, dun, 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 we will of course be getting you some more information through tarot and oracle. So think of your question now. We started on good idea, and we're going to give it, I like it when it goes round like that. So we'll see what it says. All right, so we got forget about it. Okay. So I'm going to do one more to see if we can get a little extra information on there. Okay, so good idea. Forget about it. Good idea. So there's a few different, let's do one more time. So it's an idea you come up with. Okay, so it's an idea that you have or a notion of something, and you've been asked that to forget about it twice. So let's put that in context for you, and let's see why. My initial understanding of it is that something else is coming in that's better for you, but let's see. Judgment and Two of Wands, absolutely. So, whatever it is that you asked for or asked about is not intrinsically bad by any stretch of the imagination, not at all. But definitely what I'm feeling or what I'm being told is that not all the information is in place yet. So, running into that situation may trip you up a little further on down the line. Um, and also, more importantly, what I'm picking up on, this situation may not be a position where you will be able to shine to the greatest degree that you can. It may not be a situation where, or a relationship, or whatever it is that you ask for, where you're invited to be your complete self. There's an aspect of yourself, if you should take this, where you're going to have to dumb yourself down a little bit, or there's a little bit of fitting into that sort of tight box in order to be able to reap the rewards. And the universe wants you to do everything on your own terms because you're ready, and also want to have you to be authentic and beautiful, and not to be dumbed down in any way, shape, or form. So it's also a situation that may seem really enticing at the beginning, but as you move into it, the sort of glitter and the glamour as it kind of falls away, will leave you a little bit empty one way or another. And it's just, again, it's really about the core of this, is that it's not something that's going to represent you at the core, so it will feel empty as all the excitement sort of wears away. However, pile two, there is a definite, before even turned over these beautiful tarot cards here, definitely got a feeling of you're on the right track. Whatever it is that you've asked about in that area of your life is absolutely ready to take off, which is why when this situation came in, you're asking about this particular situation, you're excited to giddy up and get going. Totally understand that. So in answer to your question, that's what we're saying. It is a good idea. It is a good idea to put yourself out there. So that's why you got that. The second one, you are ready. And in pile one, for those of you in pile two, you might want to go back to pile one, because you are ready about something. But that's about these natural circumstances, about you putting yourself out there on your own terms. That was pile one. This is about a situation coming in where it's an external situation coming in to change this, that, and the other. But on face value, it seems like that could be great for you. So really what you're being told to do is you are ready. So this excitement is real. This excitement is real because you are ready. You're being asked to take it to the next level yourself. So if there's anything about asking about anything that's external, sit with your intuition. With all of these readings, with everything in your life, sit with your intuition. Take the excitement that this proposal, this situation, first sort of, those butterfly feelings in your stomach, take that, because that is an indication that you are ready and that this is exciting for you. And take that excitement and see how you can put yourself out there or do this yourself. Now, this is not about control insofar as don't let anybody else help you. You've got to do this yourself. Far from it. The universe and your guides are saying people will be coming in, people will be helping you, people will be elevating you. You will get the the beauty that you deserve, the credit that you deserve. Just in this situation, it might take a lot longer to do that. There might be a lot more heartache to do. Maybe the people that have come to you are, you know, placating a little bit insofar as they believe what they mean or they believe what they say, but they don't really have as much backing as they say. This, whatever's come at you, or whatever's come in and around you, there's this energy of elevation, and that's the energy that they want you to take. But this energy of elevation may not exactly be able to be upheld with the current situation that's in and around you. Let's get a little bit more information on this. But yeah, it's more about being authentic and doing things on your own terms. So sit with it. Will you be able to do things on your own terms? Will you be able to show your authenticity? Sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's best taking the slower path, doing things on your own way, and building this really, really secure platform. Because when you get out there, your platform is really, really secure, and you know who you are, and whoever's in and around you knows exactly who you are, rather than doing things pretty quickly, looking around, building this, and turning things around and going, oh my goodness, these people don't even understand me. I'm now on this platform, and I'm like, I've got this, that, and the other, but I don't even know who I am anymore. So to a degree, that's not going to happen to you. That's the most extreme form of it. You would never let that happen. And there are some situations, of course, where you can go from 0 to 100 straight away, and that's, you know, and that's wonderful. But for you, it's really important, the authenticity, whatever it is that you want. It's very important that the energy that you put out there represents you. You've not always been in a situation, Paul, too, where you've been in situations where you work, the people that you were in and around, the situations that you were in and around really reflected your core part of who you were. Not at all. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you have this beautiful essence where so many different types of people and so many different types of circumstances are attracted to you. That's wonderful. But you're asked to choose now what it is. And if you let the external come in and sort of railroad you, they're going to try and mold you the way in which you've always been molded in certain situations. As long as you're authentic and you're only answering to yourself in this situation, move forward the way that you want to. Now, we would never say a direct yes or no. You know, the pendulum says forget about it. But if you want to move forward with it, that's totally up to you. See it as an experience. Just make sure that your authenticity, your foundation of who you are, is truly respected from the beginning. Do not dare go in there and just say, oh, let's see how this goes, let's see how that goes. If you go into it, go into your eye with your eyes open and stand your ground from the beginning and allow them to react to that. And see where that goes. Now, that it may mean that whatever connection you have may fall apart pretty quickly, but then it will have fallen apart later on. Let them show you exactly who you are, if this is a business deal or if this is, you know, external circumstances coming in. So you showing your authenticity from the beginning. Now, it very well may be that they're saying forget about it, but as you move into it and you show who you are, they can meld around you. Now, there is a chance for that to happen for some of you, but it'll only happen if you stand in your true shine of authenticity from the beginning and stand your ground. That's the only way. If you're not intending to do that, or you don't feel comfortable doing it, the answer is forget about it. So you have the world at your fingertips. You can do this yourself. And others are coming in to help you too. This is not the only situation or the external situation that will be in and around you for you to be able to shine. So you've got grief coming up. We're going to do one more here too. Let's see what this one is. Dissipating. Okay, so yeah, you're just being... Okay, so there's a few things going on here with the grief and the dissipating. Sometimes when we want to be out there or want to be further along than we are, we don't realize how far along we actually are. It feels to us as if this situation is probably not the best situation, whatever it is that you've asked about. It feels as though there is already an ending and you already know that this may not be the right situation for you, but to give yourself that time to grieve, to give yourself if you're grieving about a situation finishing or ending, or this situation that's coming in and around you, or has come in and around you, has had a natural ending, or it's triggered or activated some kind of deep grief within you, allow that to be able to come out. That's absolutely okay. In the past, some of you may feel as though you let your emotions kind of dictate what situations you went in and what you didn't, and that's perfectly fine. You are a very sensitive person and you had to protect yourself, and that's the way that you were. The opportunities that were meant for you, pile two, are still coming to you. For those of you who are feeling as though you've lost out or you've missed out on certain opportunities, and that's why when this opportunity comes in and around you, you want to grab it, you want to take it, because you think, you know, I've done this before. I've let my emotions get in the way of this, or I felt overwhelmed and I want to be able to do this. The sentiment behind that is absolutely, truly wonderful, and it's gorgeous, and you are blossoming. Stay with that. That's wonderful. We're just asking you to make sure that the actual situation, the actual circumstance that you're jumping into is the right one for you. But the feeling behind the circumstance is absolutely wonderful. You are ready in many ways to release what no longer serves you and to take on a new level of responsibility, to integrate yourself into the world in a way that you've never done, to the heights that you've never done before. Now, when people are coming in and around you and they're attracted to your energy, that's wonderful. We want to remind you that you're going to get a lot of this energy, you're going to get a lot of this attention moving forward. So to be very, very clear and careful about who you work with. For collaborations, it can be very exhausting for you sometimes to be in a collaboration. We also want to remind you, pal, too, that you're always in a collaboration. You're in a collaboration with your guides constantly. You work in other realms, you work doing your own thing, and that in itself, we're not saying that's exhausting, but that's in itself is kind of a full-time job, right? So, you know, for those of you who are trying to think of practical ways to integrate themselves back into the world, well done. You are ready for that responsibility, and we love you for it. Thank you for taking things for new heights. But also remind yourself that not every collaboration will be in authenticity for you, will be right for you. And allow for this time to allow this grief, and allow what's coming up for you. Allow the old to really release, this old of being hard on yourself for not taking opportunities that you felt like you could have, or things that you may have missed out on. Those opportunities were not for you. You may have, in maybe a different timeline, taken them, and maybe, you know, they sort of worked out to a certain degree, but you wouldn't have been happy. They fell apart for a reason. You have not missed out on absolutely anything whatsoever. So when the circumstances come in and around you, get really excited. Okay, this is a chance for me to get out there. This is, remember, take that energy, but be very careful who it is that you work with, because even though you're ready for the next level, you're still you're extremely intelligent, you're diligent, you're beautiful, you're authentic, but you're also highly sensitive, and sometimes you try to hide that. And if you're not with people or in and around situations where you feel comfortable doing that, you have the tendency to shut down. And that's why you come out of the world a little bit, and you've not integrated the way that you want to. Now you're ready to do that, but it's important for you to do that with people who are going to honor your authenticity, people who are going to see you for exactly who you are, not try and meld you into something that you're not, or something that they can use. So let's see, we have the activation oracle. So again, we want to remind you, we're not telling you not to do this, but the main thing about this is to remind yourself that the initial excitement about what this situation person is bringing up in you, that's definitely to be taken seriously. Whether you move through it and actually, you know, put yourself firmly into that position or that person or whatever it is that you ask for, is not, excuse me, is not necessary, but that initial excitement is really important. So you had the good idea. We want to remind you, are you ready to move forward in the way that you think you are? Yes, that is a good idea, but the specifics around it may not be quite what you need. So we need to light another candle there. We'll do that in a minute. So let's see what else we have for you here. Soul time, number 40. The frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Absolutely. That's absolutely what we just said. You are ready to go into the soul time. You're ready to allow yourself for the possibility of a new reality, but it needs to be based on the beauty of who you are. It needs to be based on the concept that you are limitless, timeless, and infinite. So as long as you are choosing that and choosing yourself first, then whatever you choose, whatever circumstance, person, situation, reality you choose will be to your liking. Make sure you're not in and around people or the situation, the external, that still represents the idea of polarity or moving through with the idea of success and how we used to see it. You've already shifted your concept of what success looks like for you. Make sure that this external circumstances is mirroring your new concept of success and will hold you to that as a mirror. So I've seen this, I'm trying to think of where I got this. It's a my goodness. I think it's a channeling of someone. If I find it, I will put it down below because I definitely did not come up with this. It's somebody who channeled, I think, Lilith. And they said something like, when you're choosing a new partner, a new situation, a new friend, whatever, when I read your mind, do I see my soul there? And like I said, I'll find out who that is and I will put that down below. I know I have it somewhere in my notes. So use that, pal, too. When you read somebody's mind, you're very intuitive. You can do this in a second. When you read somebody's mind, is who you are, your soul, does it lie there too? That's what you need to do. If it does, this person, this circumstance, this reality will allow for you to unfold and blossom the way that you are and will honor your soul. If not, then you will be asked one way or another, physically, psychically, spiritually, to shut down certain aspects to fit into the box that they want. So it may not be the right circumstances for you. But again, remember, you're ready to move forward, and that's the most important part. So we've got the Cosmic Dancer here for you. Let's see what else we have for you. But you are ready, and people are going to be in and around you asking, there's going to be, the universe is going to send you many different types of situations. This is not the first one. Absolutely feel this is a beautiful one for you. All you gorgeous empaths out there and highly sensitive people who chose Pal 2. You need to be able to feel in every situation. If you're being put in a situation where you're being asked to shut that down in order to survive, do not do it. Please, please, please think of you. Please put yourself forward. Please put yourself first. You're not used to putting yourself first, but you are ready to honor who you are. You are ready to honor and put yourself first. So make sure this external circumstance helps you do that, and to honor your gifts, to absolutely honor your gifts and not exploit them. Again, we want to mention that there are going to be lots of different situations, people, circumstance in and around you. This is just the beginning. As you shine your light bright, lots of people will come to you will want to be in and around you, whether it's personal, whether it's business. So there will be lots of times to choose. So if you're sitting there going, this seems like a really great idea, I don't know when the next one is coming, it's all coming. So just take your time. You're being asked at this point just to sit, breathe, and allow whatever's coming up for you to finally release. And in that moment of clarity, as you come on the other side of that, it will be perfectly obvious in which direction to move. Again, to reiterate, you got the good idea. You're on the right track. Just want to make sure that you're not downplaying what you could achieve with this sort of glitter at the beginning, but the glitter will fade. On target, yes. follow your ideal life path. You absolutely have this. You are on target. You know what you're doing. There is a point of possibility here where this is a part of learning to trust yourself and trust your intuition too. So if you are led to this reading, you were led to pile 2, you're ready to trust your intuition, you're ready to trust, because your intuition is impeccable, but sometimes you've gone against it and you've gotten yourself into circumstances or being in and around situations that you've had to clean up, and it's not really been great. So this is part and parcel of you trusting yourself. You are on the right path. You are exactly where you need to be. The right people are going to come in and the right circumstances are going to come in. And this is about pile 2. This is about you learning to trust yourself again, learning to work with your intuition, learning to delve into your intuition. All the answers are completely inside of yourself. And all of the good readings tell you exactly what you knew already. So if this has resonated with you, we should have told you what it is that you knew already. But you're being urged to do this on your own, at least for now, and allow yourself the space to attract in the kind of energy that will really cause a ripple and support you in who you are, with all of your feels, with all of your emotions, so you can be truly authentic and original in who you are. And in doing that, you encourage and mirror others, give others the space to be that themselves. And that's really what you are here. So the main thing is that you are on target. It is a good idea. You get that. And I'm glad we went back there and we did it again, because it didn't feel complete. It didn't feel like, oh, forget about it. That's it. You're not doing it. It didn't feel like that. It felt like there were a couple different layers. So hopefully we got through those layers today and got you some clarification. So that's what we have for you, pile 2. If this resonated with you, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing from you. And of course, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon, so you never miss an opportunity to hang out with us. There's so much going on at Unicorn Light Tarot. We do have the Unicorn School of Light down below. Come join us on Facebook. We also have a Unicorn Therapy if you want some extra meditation, some healing, some activation. And we also have our 5-part series to Oracle and it's Intuition and the Oracle. Not just working with the Oracle, learning to work with your intuition, to trust it. That would be wonderful for you. Listen to your intuition if it takes you there. Go be you. So lots of ways to work with this energy to get support, activation, healing, whatever it is that you need in these times. Sending so much love and light to you. Spend some time with yourself. Remember, you are stardust, pile 2. Accept nothing less than what you deserve. And we will see you soon. Stay safe and sane. Okay, all you darling pile 3s, if you chose the clear quartz, this is your reading. And remember, it is a pick a card, yes or no. We're going to start on the good idea, because it is a good idea to do this. So we're going to ask you to breathe into your intuition and ask your question, the simple question, yes or no, or variants of. And then of course we will get you some detailed clarity. And don't forget, we also have our healing candle. You can expel or release what no longer serves you, or bring in that beautiful abundance and healing and manifestation, however it is that you want to use the candle. So let's go ahead and get your pendulum answer. So round and round it goes. Okay, so we got good idea. Let's go ahead and do it again. Okay, so we got good idea and we got no. We did this before with pile 2. We got forget about it first. And then we did it, we got good idea, and there was a reason behind that. So there's a layered, we're trying to get you as much clarity as possible. So we got good idea, and then we got no, absolutely not. So this is all gonna come to fruition. We'll figure out what's going on here. Ooh, we got the devil. Okay. And we've got the Princess of Cups here. So wow, this is a very different energy. All right, so the first thing that we're getting here is that a situation is trying to convince you that something is a good idea, and it's very clearly here somebody that's trying to, or situation that's trying to sort of exploit the old, or exploit an old version of you, or to, or it's, yeah, this is okay. So there's influence and energy around you that seems like it's good. And that's why I wanted to do the second one, because there was other information there. Um, but actually, you're better off without this person or this situation in and around you. Now, I think this person or situation could be quite exciting, and take you out of your element. And in that way, you think you need this and you think this is wonderful. Now, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with that, but the way in which it takes you out in your element is that it brings out the sort of negative in you. And there's a toll for being in and around this energy, or there's a toll about being in and around this person or this situation. So it's not freely given. It's a situation it's not necessarily completely harmful, but it costs you something. It costs you energy. Um, and there's a better situation out there for you. Let's get a little bit more information here. This person or this situation, the circumstance, that seems like a good idea or came up as a good idea, has hidden depths and has a hidden agenda. And the agenda is slightly dark. Now, it doesn't mean that the situation of the person is dark, that's bad, or anything like that. Not at all. The person, if it's a situation or a person, the person could be an opportunist. And what you're doing is you're working with that person because of those qualities. They're an opportunist. You know, they're sort of cutthroat. You're not quite like that. So let me hire them and they can do my PR work or whatever. Very specific kind of idea there to get you an idea. And again, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with any of that. We often hire or around people who have different surface manifestations and are out in the world slightly different to who we are. But the difference is, to be happy, is that everybody has a firm moral and common ground at their foundational level. You know, it's like the same as, you know, this could be a relationship too, seemingly like a good idea. Opposites absolutely do attract. Myself and my husband in many ways could not be more opposite, but we have the same moral code, we have the same emotionality level. So we get each other, and it forms a very firm foundation. You're being asked to look at the foundation here with this person. For some of you it is love, for some of you it is this person that seems like a good idea, and they seem exciting and they are very different to you. And again, we want to be very clear. It's not necessarily a bad thing because they're different to you. Absolutely. We're asking for you to set in motion this understanding that your code, there could be money. I keep getting financial too. There's financial stuff in here. Maybe there's a promise of a paycheck, or this person has money, or this situation that's coming in around you has promised you this, that, and the other. Again, nothing wrong with that. Intrinsically, we want to be successful. We want to be able to do all of this stuff. It's just really, at the end of the day, not selling your soul to the devil, as it were. If this person, this circumstance, whatever it is that's in and around you that you asked for, shares the same moral code as you, and can witness and be in and around you and honor your authenticity, for what it is, without, you know, there's nothing wrong with promoting your authenticity as long as they're not exploiting it. So you're being asked to look much deeper, past the initial whatever it is that they're suggesting, or whoever it is they are, whatever it is that this is exposed to you. There's something more. There's something hidden there. There's something other. There's other opportunities coming in, certainly for you. But they're saying that if you do it, be aware. The suggestion here, the second one, is that you would be better off with a different situation. But the first one was good idea. So if you do it with your eyes open, and do it with your heart, your eyes open. Know exactly what you're getting into. Really check in with your intuition and make sure you know what you're doing. And also be ready to protect yourself at some point. In the way that if they're not honoring who you are, honoring your authenticity, then you need to be able to stand your ground pretty much from the beginning. But again, they're asking to really, in order for you to answer this, for each and every one of you who chose pile 3, they're asking for each and every one of you to step back in and check out and really hone in on the actual core and foundation of this person. Does this core and foundation of this person match yours? Does the level of an integrity of this person match yours? That's what you're really being asked. So it's a good idea on some level, but you're being warned, not warned, you're being told that the level of integrity around this person or around this situation, whatever it is, may not be quite to the heights that you are. So again, there's hidden agendas, maybe there's hidden stuff going on. That's not to say that you can't work with it. The original one was good idea. You chose the clear quartz too. Clear intentions, also cleansing. What you see is what you get. What you've got here is not necessarily that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't work with it. Let's see what we've got here. Completion, okay? So we've got sort of the devil and the death card here. And we've got miracle. Okay, so this is a little clearer. Little bit more to the pieces of the puzzle, right, pile 3? So what we're saying here, so what it seems like this situation, whatever it is that you just asked about, and for each and every one of you will be completely different, of course, right? So whatever it is that you've asked about, this situation, this person, whatever it is that you've asked about, is a completion in a way. It seems like a good idea because there's a remnants of the old energy of who you were flowing through it, and that excites you. That kind of like, let's get that success, let's go there, let's do this. It sparked something in you, and that's absolutely wonderful. But putting it in place, and again, if you want to see it as a good idea, as the last hurrah, let's do this one last time, doing it this way, go do it again. Stand your ground, know who you are. You're absolutely ready, pile 3, to be able to do that. So you're not going to come out of this diminished in any way, right? It's just a matter of whether you want this circumstance. It will be your last hurrah. It's triggering. No, triggering is not the right word. It's definitely exciting you in a way because there's a little bit of the old kind of like, let's do this quickly. Let's do this fun. Let's break some of the rules. Let's do, I'm personally, I love breaking the rules. I think that's great, but there's a way to do it. And, the situation that's in and around you are still doing it based on the ego. There's a lot of ego around this person, a lot of ego around the situation. And you, for the most part, have worked with the ego, and we're human. We haven't transcended our egos. Only a couple of us on the planet are actually enlightened one way or another. We're still working with our egos one way or another, but it might be enticing for you to like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's go with the ego. Let's do it. And if you want to, that's fine. Again, if you don't want to do any of that cleanup, or where is this going to end? Do I really need to do this? The answer is you don't really need to do it. You don't really need to do this to gain anything in your life. If you're looking for a little of extra excitement, go do it. If you want to wrap up the old version of you, one last thing, if somebody's coming, let's do this one last time, go do it. It's this particular energy that we're getting in and around you. There's nothing new about it. It's old. And it's playing on the old stuff that you had. It's really, really old. Now, there's nothing wrong with indulging it, again, but it's not going to lead you to new heights. It's not going to lead you to anything brand new. That's coming. But if you want to do one last hurrah, Done, done, done. Let's do it. Go be you. Go have some fun. But please stand your ground. Do it with your eyes open. Please stand your ground. And at some point, these situations, these people might piss you off, and you might cut it short and move out anyway. And that's fine. None of this is really a huge deal. It's not going to cost you too much. Even if there's a little bit of that ego, they're trying to use the goodness in you, or they're trying to exploit you a little bit. They're not really going to be able to do it. You'll sort of be on to them in a way. It's just a matter of whether you feel like you need to do this last hurrah or not. However, Pile 3, there is new beginnings coming in. And now for some of you who are a little frustrated because you feel as though you're not the person that you were before, but you're not fully moved into the new person yet. So when this situation comes up, it gives you some kind of familiarity. It gives you something that you can hold on to and get out there and do. So you're like, I'm more in, I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to have this fun with this person. I kind of want to do this thing. I kind of want to see where it goes, because there's a familiarity in there that is sort of pulling you a little bit. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not going to, whatever you do, it's not going to pull you back to who you were. You're still very firmly on your path of light, as it were. But you are coming into not another version of you. That sounds a bit woo-woo, but you're coming into a more clarity, visioned type, I know what to do right now. We're asking, if you're doing this out of boredom or you're doing this out of familiarity, really sit with where you are and ask yourself if it's worth it. The pendulum says it isn't. You might think it is worth it. And if it is, go do it with your eyes open. But we want you to know that there are people, there are situations that are coming in and around you that are going to be resonating with this sort of this new clarity, visioned sense of self that you are absolutely working into. You're really in a place of just building that firm foundation, and in a place of like sort of rest before you take off. So if you go and do this situation, or take up on this whatever it is that you asked about, it's not going to take away from anything that's going to happen to you in the future, but it might hold up some of your intuition. It might hold up some of your things. And for some of it, it could be like a really silly thing, like just giving you an example, right? Just giving you an example of what we're trying to say. It might be, seeing a really, really dramatic like reality show, right? We're just giving you a straight up example. It's kind of a silly example, but bear with us. This is exactly what we're talking about. Now, intrinsically, is there anything wrong with watching that reality show? No, absolutely not. Your heart goes out to all of those people. You feel a lot better about your life because you're not dealing with any of that stuff. So it makes you feel better about you. But at the end of the day, after watching all those episodes, you don't feel good. You feel drained somehow, and it's not really serving you. But you want to do it because you're a little bit bored, or you feel a little bit lost, and you don't know where it is, you don't know where you're going, and you want something to fill the time, and the drama seems a little bit interesting to you. There's you recognize that there's something about that. So again, that's a very specific thing. It's not going to hurt you doing this. It feels familiar. Do you really need to play this out? No, you don't. You're coming into another sense of who you are, and new opportunities are coming in. But should you decide to, again, sit there and watch this really dramatic stuff, get some fresh air afterwards. But you might be better off watching like My Little Pony or some other stuff that just would be a little bit better for your heart. So we're not saying that was your question. We're just on a very, very, sort of primary source here. We're trying to give you, this clarity of what it is this reading is. So nothing's going to hurt you. Go do it. It's going to feel familiar, but it's not really what you need. And you just want to make sure that you're not too far into it, that you're not doing too much, that you're honoring yourself at every moment. And there's not too much cleanup at the end. There's not too much cleanup. So all this dramatic stuff that you've just been through, now I need to take 3 days to cleanse from that. We promise you're coming into a more sort of not stable. You're very stable in many ways. You just might feel a little lost or out of it. but there's a lot more clarity is coming to you. So you could definitely wait until other circumstances that come in that absolutely feel right. But do what you want. Always, obviously, this is not going to hurt you in any way, but it may not be the best thing for you, even though it may seem like a good idea at the beginning. The familiar aspects of who you are is pulling you into that. Long term, maybe, or even short term, maybe not so much. Okay, so we've got the sacred geometry. Let's see what we've got here with this card. Some extra clarity for you. Okay, Tantric Journey 42. The frequency of Tantric Journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach the state of wholeness and completion through our central experiences with ourselves and with another. So some of you have asked about a specific person, right? And again, could be a good idea. This, you know, you always have to make decisions based on your own intuition. You absolutely do. So something may have been opened up in you, and you know, like a real sense of self. You know, we keep getting the sort of like something's been clicked or activated. This clinginess or this understanding that somebody could present this energy to you. You're being asked to remind yourself that you hold that energy within yourself. Okay, so when somebody comes in and either triggers you or activates you in one way or another, you held that energy already. They activated it. They're just a mirror for you. You don't always need that person. Sometimes that person is a trigger or an activation for you to figure out some other stuff, but you're capable of bringing that energy in yourself. If you weren't activated by it, you wouldn't have been able to be activated by it if you did not already know that you had that energy already. So this could be a person or a situation that you've been asked to be a part of. And again, it's totally up to you, but it could be presented to you in a way that, you know, would quote unquote help you, but actually it's really helping them. So again, get back into who you are. If this is activating you at the soul level, if this is something that you want to do, this is something that you're working to anyway, this tantric journey of really using your body, really using your soul, being very completely in touch with your body, your sexuality, how you use it. This is something that's been activated probably for most of you already. You may be looking for an outlet for it. Just be sure that the outlet serves you and not just the other people or the other person involved also. You're already, you know, being unlocked. The state of activation has already happened within you. The journey is already happening. So stay with it. And again, choose correctly for you. So we've got the cosmic dancer here, but this is very exciting though. Take the excitement that you're feeling in and around this. The idea that the excitement is just around the situation or just around this person. Again, if you're feeling it, it's activated something within you. You can promote that and activate that excitement yourself one way or another and see what that excitement draws in. We just want you to be master of your own destiny instead of somebody else or something else trying to master that destiny for you. You don't need that. You need a partner, not somebody who's trying to control, right? Okay, notice the pattern. So here we have, this is a situation for you, and it's a really beautiful situation for you, again, to notice how you've done this before. Notice the pattern. This is significant learning for you, Pile 3, should you pay attention. It's important for you to realize whether you say yes or no to this yourself, because it could go either way. Again, initially the good idea. And you've got this in common with Pile 2. Well, no, you've got this in common with everybody that's ever lived. You're being asked to really work with your own intuition and actually serve your own intuition and work through everything. So there is something that you are working through. Again, there's a version of the old that's reaching its completion completely. How you manifest that new version of yourself or this new reality for you is very much up to you. A part of you wants to go back to the familiar. Again, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with that, but ask yourself if it's worth it. Notice the pattern. Notice where you are. There's a part of you that's very creative, that's very spontaneous. And there's a part of you that sometimes feels as though you get too stuck and you take too long to make decisions. So sometimes when you're being really spontaneous, you're trying to pull yourself out of this and make things happen, right? Let's make sure that this situation isn't that, because in those moments of, I just want to do this, may not be the right thing for you. But take that specific energy, that spark, that beauty that you have, and integrate it a little bit better and bring in better situations. There's nothing wrong with spontaneity, and you've gone from one to the other, but sometimes you use that spontaneity to try and use it as a device to bring in more spontaneity, or to pull yourself out of this sort of this, not darkness necessarily, but this for some of you it could feel like quicksand. It's just this hold. You want to be out of this hold, so you want to make something happen. So notice this pattern of you doing this before, shaking up, getting out there and shaking stuff up. It doesn't need to be shaken up, right? You don't need anything dramatic to shake anything off. Again, should you decide to do it, that's totally up to you, but you don't need to. You're connecting very much with yourself. You've got your breath, you're connecting with your breath. When you slow down, you know who you are, you work with your intuition. Others are coming in, so you don't need this situation. But again, if you want to do it, that's totally up to you. Now, making magic. Let's finish off this reading with making magic. Goddess, this came right out. Healing feminine energy, absolutely. So for you, and this is not a gender thing, so this is the end piece of your puzzle, pile 3. You are at the end of completely firming and healing your divine feminine and your divine masculine, and definitely working that out. So that's why you could have gone from spontaneity before to maybe being too cautious. So the situation may be preying on that a little bit, and pumping you up, this, that, and the other, and using really sort of basic devices to be able to do that for you. But really, at the end of the day, you're healing that feminine energy. Your message is you don't need anything external to tell you how wonderful and beautiful you are and to play on that in any way. This is something for you to do from within, the inner, and then shining out. So this is what you're doing. The miracle is coming. Again, this is not something that you're working on. It's worked on. You've worked on that. You've had a lot of divine feminine energy. There's no two ways about that. But you've actually had to heal that, and had to heal the wounds of how that's been used in past lives, and the value of the divine feminine, the value of what the divine feminine stands for. So that's what you're doing, and that's where you're at. So if this situation honors the divine feminine within you, and you can be that divine feminine state of grace and be honored for it, then maybe you want to try it out and see where it is, because at the end of the day, it's not going to exhaust you too much. Or if you're doing it for the drama, to see it, to check it out, to connect with the old, to be able to go through. We want to make sure that you're not going through this just to learn one more thing. You don't need to learn anything anymore. Sometimes we keep putting ourselves in the same situations to learn the same situation. You've actually learned this already. It's about self-respect and honoring yourself. That's what you're being asked to learn. If you feel as though you need this situation in order to move through it, in order for you to learn just a little bit more of the equation, go do it. It doesn't seem like you need to do this in order to learn it. It feels like you've got it. And you can do that on the outside looking in without physically having to go through it. But again, it's, as always, decision's always yours. If you feel like you need one last hurrah to figure it out and put it all together, go be you. Just stand your ground, your authenticity, and who you are from the beginning. And if it starts to exhaust you, come on out and just make sure that you're being honored at every point. So we hope that we got you some clarity there, pile 3, and some layering of that clarity too. So if this resonates, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below. And of course, come join us. Subscribe and hit that bell icon at Unicorn Light Tarot. We would love to have you here. Lots of great things going on. We have the Unicorn School of Light. Everything is listed down below. Come visit us on Instagram and of course on Facebook. We also have Unicorn Therapy, which we we very much like, we very much love. Of course, for activation and healing and meditations working through your chakras, we also have intuition and the tarot, a 5-day free course. It's not just, sorry, not tarot, working on that. Intuition and the oracle, it's just an introduction of really working with divine masculine, divine feminine, working with trusting yourself, and of course the oracle. And of course we have many other beautiful readings and so many other things going on. So come join us. We would love to have you. So go be you, make the right decision that feels right for you with your own intuition, because at the end of the day, only you know what's right for you. Until we meet again, stay safe and sane. File 3. Bye-bye.